Okay, well, this is another sketchbook tour. This is an Arteza Sketchbook. I'm not sure whether you can still get these. These are pretty old now. This is a linen book, which is obviously a lot more environmentally friendly than leather, or probably has less plastic in than fake leather, so it's probably a little bit kinder to the environment. Now, there's all sorts of stuff in here. Now, I've got all these different initials on here because my partner and also my daughter has done bits of art in this as well. So this is a bit of a combo, this one. Sketchy sketchiness. This is a really daft little sketch I did of my lad, and Sally, my daughter, she's been sketching herself, and I think, and maybe mummy as well there. Again, I've done some swatching in here, testing out some new watercolours, so I won't linger on there. Some of these are really nice though, aren't they? Look at that. Look at that one. That's really gorgeous. And this is, again, it shows you the difference between the granulating French ultramarine and the non-granulating. That's a lot finer. Off to London again. This is another train sketch. Don't normally do this so much now. If I'm doing these kind of really quick abstract sketches now, I tend to use just cheap paper, because frankly, you're kind of the sketchbook's just sort of too nice for sort of doodles, I think. But I do always encourage people to have a play as well. I mean, play is still important, so if you're gonna, better to do it than not do it, if you know what I mean. Some of this is really quite abstract stuff. So this is New Year a few years ago, and me and Sally, I think, are just playing with some new pens here. Again, not the ideal use of a sketchbook, but you know, I remember it. That's the thing, is I remember us doing that. I remember us sitting down and drawing together and having a play. This is Helford Passage, single ink type thing. I'm not sure what Sally's drawings are here, but this looks to be snowmen, I think. So that's some of her stuff. This sketchbook was picked up very randomly, I think, when I went out to see my mum in the hospice, and it was a sketch I did of her there. Yeah, this is a drawing my daughter's done of where we went for the day out to a local reservoir. That's quite mental, isn't it? That's quite different. Playing with some metallic pens. I don't know whether you can see those, but they're actually sparkly. This is some pens my daughter got. So I thought I'd do some urban sketching with them. It's quite nice, actually. Looking back at that, it's quite fun. I'm not sure what that's all about. This is wonderful. This is, again, something my daughter's done. All the love hearts. Some urban sketching. Same thing here. I quite like these really rough sketches. Like that. And then these sort of angles are cool. And then we're back to the crazy colours. That is mad. I don't think I did much after that. I think I pretty much exhausted those. A little post box here, and then a little Sally piece. I'm not quite sure. I think these are sort of joint drawings that we did here. Well, it's quite a weird. I think that was another drawing challenge, but I don't think I even posted it because I didn't like it. And then Sally's done a little forest scene there. I just told you this sketchbook was going to be a bit of an unusual one. Sally's drawn a post box there, I believe, or it might be a phone box. And this is a drawing we did together, a mixture of some of my line work and some of Sally's, a sort of imaginary park scene. Here's a little portrait. It's quite nice, and I think this is an undersea scene with a jellyfish, although it does look like a shuttlecock, so it could be a shuttlecock. Sally's drawn a boat there. Really nice. It's got wheels. This was a little sketch I did in my mother's house, and it was really just a strip across the house here. The telly, the mantelpiece, and then on to the bookcase. Yeah, it's nice that. Sally's done the same here, but with trees and a sun. Now, this isn't very constructive use of a sketchbook, I will admit. But as I say, this was a shared sketchbook. I don't know about that one. I'm not so keen on that, but this was really nice. I actually think this bit here reads beautifully, and I quite like this sketch. I don't know whether you can tell, but I've used blue pen, and I think that works really well, and then gone back in and used some black. So I think I might revisit that technique, because looking at that now, that's really effective. See, that's the reason why you can look back on sketchbooks and see stuff slightly differently. This is the imaginary fair again. This is just straight from my brain, really. Just different urban scene. This is New Year's. Excuse me. This was New Year's Day when I went for a drive just to have an hour off. And I sat in, I couldn't be bothered to walk anywhere. I was just feeling particularly lazy, so I sat in the car and just drew what I could see. There's some really nice bits through here. I think that's really effective. Okay. So that was a sort of slightly doomed sketch. I love the orange in that. That's fun. Again, it's selective colouring. You can sometimes I'll do the boat and not the background. Sometimes I'll do the background and not the boat. I mean, there's no hard and fast rules. It's just a case of experimenting. These were a lovely drawing by Lily there, and that boat thing was never really fixed. Again, these are all upside down. It's a bit annoying. This is quite a nice sketch of a little boat. It looks like it's got feet. The trees in the background are quite strong. I like those. Yeah, that's quite cool. And this is a little ferry from the Highlands of Scotland, which was just done for a reference drawing. That might have been done for maybe Toby's tutorial, I can't remember. But anyway. And then some really, really loose park. This is just park sketching, really. And this is out on a walk. Very, very loose. I did this as an exercise. Actually, it was a YouTube thing. I think I ended up filming this and using it on YouTube. It was basically very, very minimal watercolour, where you just do a scene and just use 3 different tones and don't overcomplicate it by going in and putting loads of extra shadows and things in, because the line work is effectively doing the shadows. Now these guys are awesome. These little crows. I love them. Brian, Bob and Bom Bom. That's those guys. Right, this is when we were camping in June last year, and Sally painted some foxgloves, which are just beautiful, really lovely. Now these are, you might have seen some of my drawings of this before. This was an unpainted boathouse, and then that's the ferry to Kerrera off Oban. I did this in a friend's back garden while we were having a lovely barbecue. I quite like that. I think that tree particularly is very nicely resolved. My foliage, I'm really happy with my foliage at the moment. I think it's working really well. It's a gorgeous little picture by Sal of some boats. I think there's quite a lot of Sal stuff in here. that is a very rough sketch for a commission that actually turned out beautifully in the end after lots of versions. It was a bit of a stressful one to do. Sally's got some more stuff there. This ended up being a bit detailed, really, for me. I think it's quite nice. I think this, particularly this bush in the foreground, is rather nice. Yeah, really good. And a bit of a impromptu. I just saw this in a magazine and I liked the face, so I thought I'd sketch it. I'm not quite sure it's worked, but really nice to do. A big cottage and some boats. And there we are. And I think in the back here, I may have kept some scraps. Oh, I know what they're for. When I'm out and about and sketching, sometimes I want a little bit of scrap paper with me, just to try out pigments or to mix on. If my palette's full, I'll actually mix on a separate bit of paper and then apply it to the sketchbook. So I think that's why they're in there. So yeah, there we go. That's a real mix of a sketch pad, that, and some of those are quite old. And so I hope you like the variety, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Cheers for stopping by.